What's up, YouTube? My name is JD Pham, and on this channel, I will explore various business ideas and or side hustles. In this series in particular, I will be discussing all things related to hosting on the Turo app. If you're not familiar with what the Turo app is, it is essentially the Airbnb for car rental. Say you have a vehicle that you're not using or you bought particularly for Turo or the Turo business, you can host that vehicle on the Turo website and rent it out to strangers. Essentially, very similar to how the Airbnb model works, except it's with cars. I've been hosting part time on Turo now since 2018. I essentially started with one car. It was my primary car at the time, and I've since grown my fleet to right about 50 plus vehicles. Now, to some of you, that may seem like a lot of cars, but trust me when I say there's larger hosts than me on this platform. Some hosts have 1,000 plus vehicles. In this series, this Turo series in particular, I want to kind of share with you my experience and or how I've done things in the past, maybe answer questions that you have. So if you do have questions relating to this video or anything relating to Turo, please make sure you comment below. In this video itself, people ask me all the time, is Turo still worth doing in 2023? As of today's recording, we're in the middle of October now. I still get people to ask me all the time, hey, is Turo still worth doing? Is Turo still profitable? I wanted to make this video to address that question and some other questions that people have asked me relating to hosting on Turo. The three reasons people host their vehicle on Turo is one, you have an extra car lying around. Maybe you and your wife or you and your husband, in the past, both of you guys went into work. Now one of you guys stays home or works from home. So you have this car sitting around, really doing nothing. And what better way to have it work for you than to monetize it and put it on the app? Great. Hey, Turo is for you, right? Right now it's sitting around. It's not making you any money. It's actually costing you money because it's sitting there depreciating. Plus you're probably paying insurance on it. So why not put it on the app, maybe make an extra $500, $600, $700, $800 a month. And that can go to something else, right? And for most folks, that just may work for them, right? And originally, that's kind of what the Turo app was designed to do, and kind of really the type of host Turo went after in the beginning when Turo was still young. They went after the folks that had an extra car lying around, or maybe somebody wanted to supplement their vehicle payment and make a little bit of extra money. Just like how Airbnb, when they first started, they went after folks that went on vacation. Hey, if you're leaving town, you're going to be going on vacation, why not rent out your place and let another family stay at your house and make some money while you're not home, right? And that's kind of how Airbnb started, if you will. So Turo, very similar concept. And I just mentioned it, right? Number two, for somebody wanting to supplement a vehicle payment, Turo's another good option. What are that? You've always wanted a Tesla Model 3, right? Let's go here. And I went to I'm going to the Tesla website. I picked a Model 3 and pricing out a Model 3 Tesla's website can be a little deceiving. They use this $7,500 tax credit that you'd get, and it would include it kind of in the price. If you click here on the purchase price, you actually see what it really costs you right now. Yes, you'll get a $7,500 tax credit for those that qualify. And starting next year in 2024, I do believe that $7,500 tax credit will actually be deducted off the purchase price. But until then, this is actually what you're paying for Model 3. Let's say $3,800 for this, and I'm just going to kind of go with the base model. And I'm going to go with regular paint, regular wheels. Really, I'm not going to upgrade anything. Continue. It says, okay, hey, there's one available nearby. And if I were to take a loan with their customized payment options, 60 months, $4,500 down, my payment for this Model 3 is $700. Say I'm somebody that can't really afford $700 a month, or maybe I can, but that might stretch me a little thin. What I can do is I can rent my Tesla out for the weekend, right? Maybe 4 weekends a month, who knows? And I'm just going to use 4 weekends as an example. And I'm going to go here to the Turo app, and I'm going to see, okay, current Teslas around me, let's say rent for we'll use this as an example, $54 a day, right? And this is kind of near, I'm in Southern California, so near Los Angeles, right? 54 a day. I had the calculator out. 54 a day. If I were to rent it out 3 days, right? Times 4 weeks, I can make $648 before Turo's cut. And let's say I'm on the 75% plan, take out 25. That leaves me with roughly about $480, right? What was that payment again? 704. Subtract 486. So maybe my out of pocket before insurance is a little over $200, right? And maybe you don't want to rent it out for 4 weekends, or maybe you only want to rent it out for 2 or 3 weekends, right? But essentially, you guys get the idea. This is to supplement and now instead of paying $700 a month for a Tesla, I can drive a Tesla around for most of the time and only pay maybe $200-300 out of pocket, or $400 out of pocket, right? That's an example of, for those that want to rent out their vehicle, supplement their payment. And then third option is, you want to start a business, you want to start a side hustle, you may want to start a car rental company. Who knows, right? You're dreaming big. That's an option also. And that's a third option. So again, to recap, 3 reasons why people would want to host is: 1, you have an extra car, it's sitting around, it's not making any money for you, and you want to make some money off of it. Number 2, you want to supplement your vehicle payment. You want to drive a nice car, Tesla, Porsche, whatever, right? And you'll rent it out a couple weekends out of the month, and it'll help supplement your payment. Or 3, you want to actually build a business, start a business. Maybe you want to start your own rental car company. And what better way to try it out than to partner up with Turo, see if it's for you. So those are essentially the 3 main reasons why I see people starting Turo, and that can change, right? I've talked to folks that, hey, they had an extra car lying around. They wanted to rent it out, make a couple $100 a month, and from there, it kind of grew into a business. One thing led to another. They bought another car, then another, and then before you know it, they have 20 cars, right? But that wasn't the original intention when they got on the app. It just kind of it went that way, right? Good for them. A few things to consider when renting out your vehicle, right? I think the first and foremost thing, people will treat your car like a rental car. You love your car, it's your baby, I get it. But the minute you start renting it out to that customer, it's just a car rental. It's just a rental car. They're not going to take care of it as great as you did, right? You might say to yourself, hey, I've rented cars before on Enterprise or Hertz, and I've always taken care of those cars. Well, not everyone's like you, right? So keep that in mind, right? Number 2, it'll definitely increase the wear and tear on your vehicle, right? Just keep that in mind. Most people rent cars because they're on vacation and they need wheels to get around, or they may want to take a long trip and they don't want to put the miles on their car, so they're renting your car, they're going to put the miles on your car. It's definitely going to increase wear and tear. And what happens is accidents. Accidents are inevitable in this business. Whether it's a fender bender, them hitting a curb, or even getting in a full-blown accident, right? Those things are going to happen. One thing I've always I see a lot, especially around here in Southern California, is people are going to smoke in your car. What will they smoke? Use your imagination, right? I'm in Southern California, guys. People smoke all types of stuff around here. So if you have attachments to your car, that may be a problem. If you do decide to go this route and start hosting your vehicle into, maybe start getting rid of those attachments. The third thing is, you might have heard that it's quote unquote passive. This is a passive business. Maybe I think I saw a Turo ad before. Is, hey, host your vehicle on our app and make passive income. Or maybe you've talked to somebody, or maybe you watch other YouTubers that say, hey, this is a great passive business. Trust me when I say it's not as passive as you think, right? Things that you will be kind of required to do. One of them being providing customer service, servicing the vehicle, right? Cleaning the vehicle, right? Every time it comes back or before it goes on a rental, you need to clean it. If you do face-to-face check-ins, right? Meeting the customers. And sometimes those meet times aren't always exact. If you might be meeting a customer that's flying in, things that are out of control are flight delays, cancellations, who knows, right? And they may be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3, 4 hours late, right? And of course, if something bad happens, right? You'll be the one that has to take care of it. Say it gets sent to the tow yard for whatever reason. Well, if you're the owner of the car, you're going to need to show up, get it out of the tow yard most of the time. The vehicle was stolen, right, during a rental. Well, hey, you know what? You're the owner of the vehicle. And in most states, the owner of the vehicle has to report the vehicle stolen. So you'll need to make time to go down to the police station, file a police report. If the car breaks down, if whatever reason, right, the first call typically is going to be to you. And yes, Turo does provide roadside assistance, but a lot of times they will contact the renter will contact you first. And an example is I just came back from a birthday party this afternoon, guys. Customer got in the car. She was freaking out. She couldn't figure out how to pair Bluetooth. Middle of the party, she gives me a call, freaking out, saying the car's Bluetooth isn't working. It took me about 10 minutes to walk her through it. Also helped that I had a handy dandy YouTube video on how to do it ready. And that took 5-10 minutes out of my day. Multiply that, right? If you have more cars, you're going to get more phone calls like that, and there will be more issues that will pop up. And the fourth thing you should also consider is insurance, right? This is a big one. This comes up all the time, guys. If you have personal insurance on the vehicle and your carrier finds out that you're renting your car out on a peer-to-peer website, they may not like that, and they may drop you. They may not renew you. They have every right. So depending on the state that you're in, keep that in mind. You may need commercial insurance, right? That I have commercial insurance. So that gets asked all the time, right? During wrecks and things along those lines where insurance has to get involved, right? That may become an issue down the line. If something happens, the liability, Turo does have the protection plan enforced when the vehicle's on a rental, but things happen, guys. It's not hard for law enforcement or another insurance company to figure out who your personal insurance company is and open a claim, if you will, right? That's happened plenty of times with me. And then the fifth thing to consider is protection plans. Know how they work. Turo provides various levels of protection plans. So get to know what they are, right? Know how they work. For me, I'm on the 75% plan. I've got a $250 deductible, and that $250 deductible comes into play sometimes, right? Those are things that you need to consider. And an example is, let's say somebody gets in my car, right? They have something sharp in their pocket. They tear my seat. And they make a little cut. Well, I can open a claim through Turo's protection plan. That repair, that repairing that tear may cost less than $250. So I'm going to have to get the customer to pay for that out of his or her pocket. And if they chose the highest plan when they rented out the vehicle, then they're not liable for anything. But if they didn't, and they have exposure to X amount of dollars, yes, they're liable, but they may not have the money to pay, right? So if they don't have the money to pay, or if they're on the highest plan, then I end up eating that $250. It's something to consider. I'm going to go over the pros of Turo, and these are things that I felt are pros. Other hosts may disagree with me, but hear me out. The first pro is it is a profitable business. It can be profitable, right? If you buy the right car, regardless of what market that you're in, you can still make money and be profitable at it. But if you're in the right market, maybe a market that's not as saturated, then the profits will be even higher, right? A good example is I have a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. I'm going to do a separate video on that vehicle. I've owned it for about 30 months. After expenses, and if I were to sell it today, after expenses, insurance costs, maintenance, all that good stuff, in the 30 months, in the past 30 months, I've made a little bit over, and I wrote this down right here, a little over $460 a month. Might not seem like a lot to you guys. To others, hey, that's good money, right? But multiply that, right? This is a business of scale. And if you had, let's say 10 cars making you $460 a month, that's not chump change. So yes, this business is still profitable. You've always maybe wanted to start your own business and be your own boss. This is a good way to do it, right? This can be your chance. Maybe you wanted to start your own car rental company at one point. This is a great way to get your foot in the door. Maybe you have, like I mentioned earlier, an idle car. Maybe you want to supplement your payment. There's also, again, tax advantages, but keep in mind, I'm not a CPA, nor am I an attorney, and nor, this isn't financial advice, but there are tax advantages. If you're a W-2 employee, if you get a W-2 and you have high tax liabilities, this is a lot of assets, right, that you may be purchasing, and that can help you. But definitely talk to your CPA. The cons of Turo, right there are some current challenges, things to keep in mind. One being market saturation. I am probably in the most saturated market in the country, being Los Angeles, Orange County, Southern California. It's always been that way. There's so many cars hosts in my market, guys, and it's always been that way. So I'm used to it. But there are a lot of markets that are still going strong, right? And in the markets that are saturated, it is a race to the bottom. A lot of folks purchased vehicles during the pandemic. A lot of hosts have loans and they're desperate, right? It is a race to the bottom out there. So definitely get to know your market. Number two, the rent-a-car companies. During the pandemic, there was a car rental shortage, guys, and there still is to a degree. But the big guys have been catching up on their inventory, so they're able to rent out like Hertz, Tesla for $50 a day, depending on in various markets. So there's definitely pricing pressures from the rental-car companies out there, which is going to eat into your profit, right? And then lastly, there's the economy. There's inflation. There's high interest rates out there. There's some conflicts that we have in the world right now. Gas prices are still high here in Southern California. It's about $6 a gallon for unleaded. What does all that mean? Well, that just means that travel is going to be down, right? Tourism might be down for my area, but local staycations might be high, might be going up. So there's definitely opportunities there that's going to affect the business. So in conclusion, do I think Turo is worth doing and still profitable in 2023? Yes, by all means. I think if you have the right vehicle in place, you have the right systems, there's definitely money to be made out there. And I think it's worth your time if done right. If you have any other questions, please comment below. If you've watched this far, I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. Please subscribe, comment below, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks again. Bye.